Hi, I'm Rebecca with Monitz Vocal Studio. I asked some of my students if they would be willing to talk about the long game, which is the journey to finding your voice. My motto is finding your voice is a journey. It's not something that happens overnight, and it's something that does take time. It's a long game. So give a listen, and I hope you enjoy.
For me, the long game has always been about talking to myself negatively because I have a very big problem with that. And I get down on myself and I say, I'm not progressing fast enough and this won't change, I just don't get it. And then every time I take a moment and I do really think about the actual long game and that it will be different next week or it can be different today, even if I just calm down for a second, it really does help me. It's thinking about it in the future and not just so frustrated with the now. So I'd say have patience with yourself because for me, that's my biggest thing. I need to have patience with myself and let myself grow naturally instead of trying to force it every 2 seconds. So just take a breath with yourself whenever you get really frustrated. I was literally like hitting my head on books being like, this Italian song is so hard, but you will get it. Let your brain process because you got it. And this is the long game.
Estri. I've been studying voice with Rebecca for 2 years now. I tend to be a very goal-oriented person, and so when I started studying with her, I had a list of goals and objectives that I wanted to reach with my voice. But of course, being someone who wasn't used to studying voice or learning to sing, those goals were somewhat realistic, but maybe for a different stage in my learning process. There was a lot of foundation that needed to be built up first before I could realistically obtain those goals and objectives. So Rebecca introduced me to the process of singing, which has been the most helpful part of my entire lessons and study time and practice sessions with her. As opposed to looking towards the future at one specific goal and trying to obtain that, I've instead learned to relax into the long game, as she calls it, the singing process, and diving more deep into singing as a whole, learning how that feels structurally in my body, how that feels emotionally as I'm singing, and being able to take all of that and put it into my progress as a singer. So because of that, as I've learned the foundation of singing and learned what my own voice is and how to work with that, I've been able to hit those goals almost unintentionally, as if just being in that process helped me to reach those in a much better state than just trying to focus specifically on those one or two goals that I was working on at the time. Because of being in this process in the long game, it's helped me to relax more about my goals going forward and just really enjoy the process of singing, of learning my voice, learning how to use it. And in the end, I'm also still hitting all those goals and objectives that I had from the beginning. But this time it looks different because now I can approach them from a perspective of seeing how all of it fits into singing and myself as a musician in general, as opposed to just striving towards one specific, really niche topic.
Okay, so the long game. Everyone wants to be able to belt that super high note or be able to mix or go super low in your range or whatever. But playing the long game is what's the most important because you're not going to get there that short amount of time. You're really just not going to. So like, for example, I'm filming college pre-screens right now, hence the little blue screen behind me. And I'm singing this song, It Roars, and I've been singing it for 3 years, I think. And in that 3 years, I have seen so much growth. This song helped me find my mix. And once I found that mix, I was mixing left and right, let me tell you. But now that like it was so bright and my mix is still leaning bright, but now I'm working towards rounding out. And if you listen to the first time I sang this song to where I am now, it sounds completely different. And it's just because I worked hard, like I worked towards it and I worked towards improving and making it better. And this goes for any song that you like ever sing, and also goes towards technique. Like I'm working right now on my low notes and they have like my range has been getting bigger and bigger, and I started out not being able to actually sing that high, and now I can sing like a C6 any day, essentially. Like it's not a big deal for me, but that's not because I was just born this way. I worked hard towards it, and I'm still working hard. I'm working towards expanding my lower range right now. And it's all just about continuing to work on your craft and just putting in the time and effort to do these things, and it will pay off, I promise. And thank you, Monitz.
I have the classic ADHD person thing where I'll get really excited and I'm like, okay, I'm going to tackle this thing. And I get all the equipment and all the supplies that I need, and I just go crazy intense for a while and I get really good at it, and then I get bored and stop. So I've always said that I'm like an A student or an F student, and I have a really hard time being like a B student, C student, where I'm just like this. I'm going to slow play this. I'm going to take my time. And something that this journey with Rebecca and her instruction has helped me with is that she encourages me to focus on one thing at a time. So what I've done is she'll just give me a few things to work on, and then I'll work on those for a few weeks and I'll notice a slight difference, and then she'll add a few more things on, and then it's amazing because you'll get months into it and you'll turn back and realize how far you've come. And it really is about dedication and slow progress, and it's not something I'm generally very good at. So this process has been really good for me, I think, in general, just for life. But yeah, if you're just starting out, just know that you're going to make tiny bits of progress you might not notice until you are even a year in and you look back and you just won't be able to believe the progress you're going to make.